Hey everybody, this is Amazing MagnetWoman coming to you with that interview with a guest owner. And I'm just testing, and I'll wait a second for people to join.
Hi, how are you, Jessica?
Hey, Kayla, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show. And I just wanted to definitely show appreciation for you taking the time to talk about your successes as an entrepreneur and an owner of your company.
Thank you. Thank you for having me for the opportunity, and I'm excited to just talk about all of it. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's get into it. So, everybody, this is the owner of Fairy Fart Herbal Company, Kayla. And just before we get started, is there anything that you wanted to say like right away about your company?
No, I love the plants and working with the plants and also educating others about plant wisdom. And that's mostly where my heart and my passion is in the root of my business.
I think it's great. You know, when we met and I just saw your products and the energy and your aura and I was just like, yes, yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so question. All right. What were you doing before you were a business owner?
Yeah, so I had just graduated college in the pandemic. So basically, fresh out of college, biology. I just gotten my degree in biology and was preparing to go to graduate school and hopefully medical school. So that is kind of what I was doing before I launched my first part of the business, which was Apothecary Tamani. And now it's kind of transformed into Fairy Farts Herbal. So yeah, that's kind of a
Oh,
little bit about my background.
oh
hmm
wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's really cool. Um, and what happened to trigger you to become an owner? It was had to do with the pandemic?
Yeah, so I mean, I was really, I've always loved just teas, and like I really loved like trying different herbal teas and things like that. And so the pandemic was a time of exploration. It was a time of like, oh, well, what does this herb do? And what are medicinal benefits that I could get? I started thinking of it really that way. Like my medical brain was just like, oh, what medicinal benefits could this help me with? And kind of exploring and researching. And it turned into learning to work with the herbs and welcoming them into my body and wanting to know more about how they got there, why, and why those medical benefits showcased through the plants. And it turned into what we have today, my business. My friends started asking me to make them some things, or they tell me their parents were having, some pain. And obviously, I was like, I don't have the teaching and stuff like that. I've read books and I've read what it can do. I have this background in, being a doctor. So I asked myself, what can I do for my community to still benefit from what I've learned thus far and outcomes, the teas, and all the other exciting things that I'm learning to create on this journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is just great. And speaking of the tea, I just wanted to show like a close up of the tea that you had. I tried the highest self, clarity, vitality, and focus.
Oh, yes. One second. I'm so sorry.
No
Doing a podcast.
problem.
It's okay. No
I'll
worries.
just show a close-up of it in the
Is that
meantime.
okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Like,
I can.
he went now.
Okay, ask. You can ask Fallon too. She'll be fine. I'm so sorry. I'm babysitting my nephew, but yes, my highest self tea came from basically exploring that whole um, concept of just what can I add, what can anyone really add into their daily life with herbs. It's oat straw in there, there's nettle in there, there's lemongrass and ginger and rosehip, and all of those are really nourishing herbs. Nettle has a lot of minerals in it, and it's really good for giving strength, energizing, and iron. It has a lot of trace minerals in it, and so it's great to have on a regular basis. Oat straw, same thing. I know a lot of people in my community suffer with mental exhaustion and burnout, and so oatmeal or oats in general are really nourishing for the body. And oat straw is basically that portion of the stem of the oat plant, and you can drink that as well in an infusion. And rosehip, lemongrass, all of that. So that is my high self tea. When I drink the tea, I feel energized. It is best served as an infusion. So having the herbs sit for at least 4 to 6 hours. And when I drink it, I always feel really well nourished and kind of ready to start my day and be present and all the things that I need to be present for and have like organic energy. Like it's not just like something that's just quick and in my body. It takes time to build relationships with these herbs. So yeah, that's a little bit about my highest self tea. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely I did. And actually I can't wait to make my next cup of this to steep my next
Yay. How
bottle.
did you like it?
I liked it a lot. I am exploring new teas. So when I saw this one, because like usually I'll drink like chamomile,
I love
and I might add chamomile with some other herbs, but I'm still kind of, I wouldn't consider myself like an advanced in the different types of teas, but this one was definitely something that helped, especially with just the vitality part. It definitely helps with that
Yay!
because I've been yeah, I've been actually including exercise in my routine, daily routine, a lot more often. So this definitely helps me to, stay focused on what I'm trying to do and actually get it done.
I'm so glad.
Thank
I'm
you for
so
that.
glad. Yeah, well, thank the herbs, you know. They're just, I call them magic, nature's finest fairy dust, because it's just so magical inviting an herb, even for the first time, what it can transpire with building a relationship with that herb. I'm glad it's helping you have some vitality.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So this is my my one of my new go-tos for the tea, for tea. So, and I've actually been looking for something local, instead of just going and grabbing some mystery tea.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah,
There is something
definitely.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, definitely, I'm transitioning towards local.
Yes, I will say there's a lot of amazing people that have grown to love herbs and can concoct locally a beautiful tea. And so I know the Path of Tea here in Houston is an awesome place to go to if anyone's looking for a local place to support. And there's also different people that make herbal things as well, like myself, at local farmers markets. There's some really, really cool people that I've ran into in the herbal community. which I always love. You know, I think everybody can incorporate herbalism somewhere, somehow in their life. And I think it's awesome that we're learning how to come back to those first before we maybe go and get like a Tylenol. Like chamomile, for instance, is amazing for just overall pain relief, digestion, um, even just being in more meditative, calming space. So having that accessible to us is really important. Really important.
Highest self. I love it. So as far as your biggest lesson that you've learned as an owner, what is there anything you'd like to share about your biggest lesson?
Yeah, it's a reflection of me always. You know, I've learned a lot about myself through a business. A business is like a baby, and I think when I jumped into it, it was kind of just something that I did, you know, for my friends. I didn't take it too seriously, but now that I've been able to make community and hopefully have a whole lifestyle surrounded around this career path. I'm still learning. I'm still in herbalism school, and um, I'm still growing my business aspected mine. I will say though, I've definitely grown in the areas of just understanding like the importance of it, you know, of having this baby that I created, you know, so showing up and showing up well, um, failures, it's okay. They happen, and that I'm not alone, that I've had a bunch of support along my journey, people wanting to see me succeed and, you know, challenging me good in the best way possible to show up. So I've been really, really grateful for that on this journey, for sure.
Wow. And I'm glad you mentioned about the support system that you had, because definitely I know like going in, especially post pandemic, like going just going out and reconnecting with people is like it's paramount. Like community is everything, and I just had a family reunion that I traveled to and I just came back from, and so I'm definitely feeling the gosh. I'm just really feeling like going out and connecting with people who I haven't connected with before. Um, yeah,
It's
definitely.
different too, in person, physically, being around people, you know. Um, especially after the pandemic, we were kind of isolated for a bit. And so that's been something that my business has always pulled me to, is when I kind of get more into, I'm naturally a hermit. So it's like when I start to hermit, you know, and I start to be outside, it's just like, okay, well, the herbs sent me here. What am I gonna learn here in this space? And I've never been, you know, ashamed of it, just grateful. I'm sure your family reunion, you probably were thinking the same way, just like, it is nice to see everyone. Like, it's
Yeah.
nice to see you. How
Yeah.
you doing? Hey, look, we're outside.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
celebration.
Definitely. Like even just like you said, just going outside, like and just connecting and like doing grounding and just connecting with nature. It's just like it's it's just different. And then when you can do it with other people, it's just yeah, it's just a next level.
I, I definitely agree.
um. So, what would you say is the most important part of your journey?
Um, Getting serious. Yeah. I am an educator as well, so I'm a full-time educator. Um, and so time management, understanding like during time periods of rest, you know, really taking advantage of that. Um, and not to burn myself out too much or pressure myself too much to make progress. Like, I'm allowed to grow in this area. You know, it takes um, really like a commitment almost to continuously show up. So I would say that's been the most important lesson in being a business owner, is just showing up and being serious about it. Yeah.
Yeah, showing up. Yeah, definitely.
Start there, you know. It can get overwhelming, but it's a start. It's a good start.
True. So true. And so that leads to my next question. How important are systems and processes as a owner?
You know, structure gives freedom. So the more that I've learned, the more that I organize and have things planned out, the more that I communicate, it gives me more liberty to enjoy the space that I'm in, enjoy the process of, you know, putting my business out there, um, with money, with time, with events. I'm still learning a lot of these lessons, but the more that I am able to kind of focus in those areas, the better. I definitely feel like without the systems and the processes, it would just be a chaotic, you know, like uneasy mess. And so planning things months in advance or taking time to actually build a project and launch it and watching it grow, you know, I think it's really helpful. Yeah. And two, with orders and processing people's requests, you know, not just continuously saying yes to everything, having like a 24-hour period to make a decision, you know, is really important to me too. So just honoring my boundaries with myself. Like I said, my business is a reflection of me. So it's like, however I run my business is how I would want to not even run, kind of flow into myself and my being. Yeah. Hi, Aunt Janie. It's my aunt. So with
Hello,
Sinate, yes, she's
welcome.
she's also a phenomenal business owner that I have grown to just appreciate. She creates the most magical lotions, balms, toners, and, you know, she is amazing. So that's also having part of my community within my own family doing amazing things. So thank you, Aunt Janie, for inspiring me, for sure.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. My mom was just calling me about her products. They're so amazing. Her shea butters, all of it. I sell her oils too. They smell so good. And I give them to some of my fellow teachers and they rub them on their headache. They're like, I don't know what you put in this oil, but my headache's gone in like 10 minutes. And I know it's because it's
Oh,
coming from her heart. Like, it's coming from what she's passionate about and what she's doing. So kind of adopting that into my own business too has been really important. Just loving what I do and making things that bring people together and connect and have authentic moments like that one. It's really important.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
So her oils, does she use essential oils?
She makes a lot of her oils and she's really concentrated oils.
Oh,
Yes, she uses really concentrated oils. Yes.
I wouldn't mind. I've been looking for some oils, and so I wouldn't mind. I might check her out. I might check her out.
The truth.
I just moved, and I'm just like, where are my oils?
Oils are very important to the practice. Anointing yourself regularly is very important. Important. Yes. And as someone who loves baths, I love bathing in oils. Yes. So
Yeah,
definitely check it out.
okay, yeah, I definitely need to speak with her then.
Yes, yes, yes.
How would you say? Well, first, I wanted to ask, when you started off your business, did you start off as a solopreneur or did you have a team?
Yeah, this is has been always a one woman show. So I wouldn't say like one woman. Of course, I've got my community behind me. My people have supported me. I've had donations, family members, you know, purchasing my things. But as far as like the preparations and also in like the processing, the labeling, all of that has been the fruits of my labor. Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
so thank you to my community for the support. It's very, 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 very welcomed and lovely, and I thank you because I wouldn't be able to do the one woman show without that. So, yes,
Wow, congratulations.
thank
That's like, yeah,
you.
to be doing by yourself, definitely. Like I know, like when I started this business, with the mindset coaching, and really it originated from me trying to get back to my um, my connection with my father, because my father, he passed away, and
Sorry to hear that.
the last place that I saw my father alive was in a community-centered organization. And so after he passed away, my siblings and I, we resurrected the um, the community organization that my dad originally started.
That is
And
beautiful.
and since my background is in education as well as a teacher, and so when I started mindset coaching, it was basically reconnecting back with what my parents taught me.
That's
And it was in the middle of the pandemic too, when we were all separated and everything. So it just it started growing like online, of course, because we couldn't meet together, and then it branched out to like other leaders in different states, like Virginia and Illinois, and then it even started branching out to like people in like the UK, across the pond, and even in Mexico. And it's
international.
yeah, it's basically just doing what I am passionate about, doing what in other words, doing what I wouldn't mind doing for free. Because of the you know, the just my level of passion, and you know, listening, being someone who will be there for somebody when they need somebody to talk to, um, and definitely the the um, the connection with the community is really big. I'm sure you understand as a teacher.
So you
You know,
answered the call.
yeah.
Look, and it's not an easy call to pick up every time. So thank you for loving it and finding joy and love in that, because it gets hard, like it's a
Yeah,
balance between, meeting yourself and meeting what your community needs, and your space for that has brought you internationally. That is huge. So congratulations. And it was your father's seed, that's
yeah,
beautiful. That's so
yeah.
beautiful.
My dad. I always think of like it all started with my dad. Yeah, it all started with my dad. So, um, and so now, I mean, I can start the day like with gratitude, and actually end the day with gratitude, and that's something that I I help my clients to be able to focus on. So um, it's just it's really um, something that helps me to stay grounded. It helps me to stay grounded, you know. It helps me to stay grounded.
Love that. That's typically why we do what we do. For some reason, my soul is just like, I need to do this. I need to show up this way. And I love that you found that for you too. Yay!
So I wanted to just touch on just a little bit about like how important would you say like mindset and mood is as an owner?
Everything.
Everything.
It genuinely is everything, especially me and the demographic I tailor to is very based in the mindset and essentially like the psychology of herbalism. You know, a lot my journey started with my mental disorder of anxiety and having, you know, problems such as like sleep insomnia or, you know, like having anxious overwhelming things, you know, fear paralysis, things that were stopping me from being kind of like sorry, there's like a bunch of little bugs and I'm okay with them, but they pop up. But basically being okay with just my being and how it presents itself, or I don't like using the word managing, but kind of like tailoring to my being and supporting it, you know, and being on anxiety medicine, it kind of just made me a zombie essentially. It's like I wouldn't feel my emotions and I wouldn't process things well because I was just dependent on, you know, an antidepressant, you know, to be productive. And, you know, there's no harm or foul in that. I definitely believe that, you know, biomedicine is really important. It's what jump started my career in this really is being able to walk with that medicine and still show up in a more healed version than I was before. However, herbalism took it a step further for me, to focus on mood, to focus on mindset. I feel like I'm coming from a more authentic space. I'm coming from a more felt out space. You know, I'm still given permission to feel my emotions, and they kind of help me process those heavier things without feeling so heavy. Because I remember a lot of my feelings growing up were just heavy. And so now when I create, I feel light. I feel like a fairy. I feel like I'm flying, you know? And that's what keeps me going is just, you know, letting that feeling flow through me like a vessel, for sure. I have to be open to that. I have to clear out clutter, constantly check in. I have to, you know, I don't ever like creating. Like I tell people all the time, I'm not Amazon as a business owner. I don't like creating if I'm not in the mindset or the space to give. How can I create from that? It doesn't feel full for me. So it's everything for me. And that may have cost me some slowness or some delay. However, I validate my full experience in this lesson. And it's important. It's a really strong core belief of what I do. Yeah, making sure you're in the mood. Creative, lavender, amazing for that, to stay focused and relaxed. I work a lot with Damiana because I can get really moody and irritated, and it kind of helps me cool over and slow down. Catnip helps my mind to stop chattering so much. And incorporating all of that, you know, that's just the surface, but incorporating, you know, did I drink tea this morning? Okay, well, now I'm a bit cranky. It's 2 p.m. Or did I, you know, eat? You know, am I irritated? Am I hot? You know, it's a good checkpoint to check in with yourself and to be in the right mindset, asking yourself, am I in the right mindset to create from this space? And if the answer is yes, go for it. But if the answer is like, I could adjust some things, like adjust the things. Get the glass of water. I don't know what you need, but you do. So, you know, do the thing. So I would say it's really important. Really important.
Yeah. And as far as like any coaching or have you ever like spent any amount of money on like coaching for your business or coaching for your mindset, or as as you were building your business? Like, would you recommend like that a solopreneur or owner would like get coaching as they're building their business, or like use a certain type of herb as they're building their business, or because, for example, like when I think in hindsight about like when I was building my business, I would like personally, I would recommend like exercise, eating right, and definitely getting with like I'm an advocate for people who have anxiety or people who are cancer champions. So I am an advocate of therapy, or just taking the first step towards even talking to a coach or someone who can just get someone to move forward who might be feeling a little stuck in their business.
Absolutely. And I have invested quite a bit in that, you know. I come from a very like analytical mindset with things. And I agree with you fully, where it's just like I feel like it's important to invest in those different channels because, you know, I want to know someone who knows what I don't know. You know, if I'm the smartest in the room, I have nothing to learn. And I love learning. Like I love getting a notepad and taking notes and writing because I'm like a sponge. I don't know what I don't know. And the only way that I can figure it out is A, trial and error, and B, finding assistance. So I've invested in coaching 101. I have had therapists, multiple therapists. I was started my therapy journey in 2019, and it trickled over into just this past year. This January, I went back to therapy. Right now, I have one-on-one coaching with an individual who's guiding me through a journey. I've invested in my education in herbalism. I started herbalism school in October because I said, if I'm going to do this, I want to make sure that I'm not just, you know, finding my information on the internet and just saying that I'm an herbalist. Like I need to put my hands in the dirt. I need to talk to people who have been doing this for 20 plus years. I've invested in entrepreneur classes as well. I've taken classes with a really, I love what she teaches. She's building her own herbal school in her acres of land. She's able to invest from her herbal tea business. So beauty, herbs, and tea. I've taken a few of her seminars, even just free seminars. A lot of people offer free seminars. I will say, like, weeding out the information that you don't need is key. We live in a very digitalized world, and so, you know, maybe someone's really, really great at social media and they're posting things, but for me, I'm one of those people. I like growing slow. I feel there's value in it. I'm not looking to have the most important social media presence. I'm not looking to have, you know, those things. And some people are, and that's fine. I just know for me, I'm more intimate than that. I love going to events. I love talking to the people who have been eventing for the past maybe 6 or so years, or people who own their own businesses. I love creating relationships with my community and learning from the elders, you know, learning from people who have done this. I ask a lot of questions, you know, so it's just about finding what for me, like what an investment is. It could be a time. It could be me logging into a class. It could be me meeting someone randomly and us having tea and me learning a bunch, you know. From one time, I just called my dad and I was like, what would you tell a business owner? And he just went on a whole thing. So I definitely try to find different ways to just learn, because this has been a learning process for sure. Yes. Well worth the investment every time.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so that leads us to really what really is going to help make a bigger impact. How can people reach out to you after they see this video, or after they learn about your products?
Yes. Can you still see my face though? Because I don't know what my camera started doing.
It just went like purple.
Yeah, I don't know. Did I flip the camera? Okay,
Okay,
wait.
I can
Flip
see
it
you
back.
now.
Okay, great. I don't know what to do it. Yes. So you can find me on social media on Instagram, Fairy Farts Herbal Co. You could find me on TikTok at the Fairy Goddess 222. And those are just my biggest ones, probably Instagram. That's the one I'm most active on. I love doing events in the Houston area. And so you might see me at the shrine or different farmers markets. I always post where I'm going to be. And I also host workshops. And so sometimes I'll do educational workshops for the community, which is probably my biggest passion. I love, love, love just hosting a class and everybody learning something and we play together. So yeah, that's where you could find me. All of that would be posted on my Instagram. So yeah. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Jessica, for this moment, for sharing your space with me and sharing your passions with me. I'm glad to hear that we have similar visions. So thank you. This has been awesome.
Yeah, it really has. And I learned something about where I can pick up some oils because I was just
Yes.
like, okay.
The truth. The truth.
Yeah. I love reaching out and meeting new people. But yeah, so do you mind if people DM you about products or?
Yeah. I'm very open. I have a very patient kind of teacher-esque thing. So if you ever have any questions about how to use a herb, or maybe I'm not a doctor, so please do not DM me about your medical things. Go see a medical professional. I'm simply learning and expressing the wisdom I've learned, and so I'm very open to those types of questions. Yes.
Great. Great. Oh, and before we go, I just wanted to say your soap. I did not want us to go without mentioning the soap. Okay,
The
the
bug
soap was
off.
great. Yes.
I'm glad it's a hit. It was the bug repellent soap, right?
Yes. I've not seen like that. Was that an innovation? Because I've
Yeah.
not seen. Okay.
One of my
Yeah.
friends said, "Can you make some?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like I love making soap. It's one of my favorite things to do. So it's like, yeah, and out comes bugger off repellent soap. Bathe in it, and hopefully the bugs will get off. And it's made with essential oils. So yeah, nothing too weird that will cling to your skin. Hopefully.
Yeah, I tried it. I tried the soap. I love it. I tried the tea. I tried the soap. I love it.
I'm
So,
glad. I'm so glad you loved everything.
well, and this will wrap up our session on the amazing magnet woman. And I wish you all peace and blessings.
Do the
Till next time.
same. Bye.